Weebles are wobbling and they're pissing me off. And a tool that I never thought that I would use in my shop, and all of a sudden, I'm now using it on every machine. All this and more, PrintFix Friday, episode 239. I need your help. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome to episode 239 of PrintFix Friday, where we help you get your printers back to printing with purpose. I made an error a couple of weeks ago when we had this Gengar failure that we were talking about. This is what I said. We can see the underside doesn't look 100% great. If you want to get it better, you have a couple of options. The first one is to reduce your Z offset distance, when in fact, Z offset is not the right thing. What you actually want in Orca is your top Z distance, bottom Z distance, or your interface layers. It was pointed out more than once that we were wrong on that, so I want to make sure that we have that correction. The Gengar needed to have better, slightly closer Z contact distance. So how much distance you have between the support and the part. I explained it correctly, I just called it the wrong thing. So there you go. I'm not always right. And oddly, that's gonna be the theme for this episode because I need your help. But before we get into that, I want to show you a cool tool. Printer Doctor is it. Okay, all right. You earn like 3 extra points of street cred by hanging a stethoscope from your neck, but this is not a typical stethoscope. This is actually for my car. This is often used for finding ticks, knocks, whatever it might be inside of an engine. Well, I've had a 3D printer make a noise for a while. One of our Qidi Plus 4s, it ticks as it moves back and forth left and right. Here's what my Qidi Plus 4 sounded like. You can clearly hear this ticking, right? And it comes and goes, it's not always there in the machine. And someone said, oh, you know, if you have like a metal rod or something, you'll be able to feel the vibrations. I'm like, I have something better. I have an actual stethoscope used for this thing, and I've owned this for like 6 months. I've used it on my car a couple of times, used it on the lawnmower a couple of times. When things don't sound right, used to find why they don't sound right. Turns out it's good for 3D printers too. Up until recently, there's been no real reason to fix it. It didn't put any issues into the parts. Until recently. Take a look on screen here. This is from one of our Qidi Plus 4s, and it doesn't look good. Every single print has this weird Z banding issue, and I don't know why. I have re-leveled the Z multiple times. It moves perfectly smooth. There are no issues at all. I have cleaned and re-oiled the Z lead screws as well as the Z bearings. We found the source of the issue with the ticking with this tool. It was one of the motors. Now, I have not done a test print yet. What we're doing is we're letting the machine get up to its normal operating temperature first. Then we're going to check if it still does this. We might have solved it already, but I want to show you guys what this looks like on the parts. It is mostly on the left side of the print, and it slowly goes away as you go toward the right side of the print. Initially, when you see Z banding like this, your first thought, oh, your Z-axis is binding, except it's not. Then you look for, okay, well, maybe there's extra play in one of the Z-nuts. There isn't. And you think, well, okay, maybe it's just tilted a little bit. And no, it's not that either. In fact, I even printed Stu's bed leveling pieces for this machine so I can make sure that it is perfectly even, or as perfectly even as we can get. That didn't work either. That's where I kind of run into this problem of I'm out of skill. The lines are about 1 millimeter apart and about 1 millimeter thick. So there is some level of consistency to it. But literally, this photo was on a part that was printed completely perfectly on the machine next to it with the identical G-code. I literally moved the flash drive from one machine to the other, and the other machine is perfect. So we can rule out G-code. We can rule out, to some extent, electrical. There is 2 things that we haven't been able to test yet. One, are we overheating the motherboard? The Qidi Plus 4s are known to not have the greatest cooling, just in general. And one of the places it doesn't have the greatest cooling is on its motherboard. Because of this, a lot of people print honeycomb grids for the back of their machines, and some of them will even do custom ductwork. We have not done that yet. And then the other one is the belts. It's the other one that we can't really get to. To adjust the belts on a Qidi Plus 4, you have to loosen 4 bolts on each of the left side and the right side on the rear of the machine. If I'm gonna go adjust the belts, I'm also gonna do the fan ductwork. It is all the same, have to pull the printer off of the shelf problem, which is not really what I want to do. So that's where this leaves us. We don't know what's wrong with it. We know it's mechanical. We figured out the clicking. It was the motor. I was going to just take it out and look at it, but I said, let me just put a little oil in its bearings first. That shut it up. So I think that's good. But clicking on a motor, and it's clicking as it's spinning, would not do this. Not in my opinion. So I guess I gotta say, the doctor isn't the doctor this week. I need your help. I am, quite frankly, a little confused. This tool, though, super awesome. If you have a lot of 3D printers and they make weird noises in ways that you don't expect, get one of these tools. If you have an older car, get one of these tools too. It probably has weird noises you don't know about. This lets you find them. And so then I guess I gotta ask, what is a tool that you use, whether it's you've used it once or used it a bunch of times in your shop, you never thought would be useful until you tried it, and then all of a sudden, you're not gonna have one outside of the shop anymore? I'm literally gonna buy another one of these. This one is gonna be in my printer toolkit box of goodies, but I kind of want to put together tools you never thought you needed until you needed them. Toolkit. Love to know from you guys down in those comments. Hey, while you're down there, don't forget to leave a like and get subscribed. And hilariously, another tall print problem. So we can see a ribbing similar to what I'm experiencing, but way, way more pronounced. Also way farther apart. They're using Creality K2 Plus with an enclosed cabinet and a CFS. The desk skin is fresh. Relative humidity is kept very low by a heavy-duty dehumidifier in the room. Shiggles are more pronounced the farther the bed goes down. So, couple of potentials on this part. This is almost certainly as well mechanical in nature. This, to me, screams bent lead screw because it gets worse. So as the bed goes down, that lead screw bending is more pronounced and causing the bed to shift. And so what we're seeing is that, well, as the screw is moving, it is affecting the print. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate because it's far apart. Normally with lead screw based Z-wobble, you would see it relatively close, not this far apart. It looks like maybe we're 6 to 8 millimeters, maybe 12 millimeters apart on this. And they're saying anything taller than 6 inches, it gets worse. And it's funny because they experience a similar problem. Although theirs starts at a higher area, it is more present toward one side of the machine. If your printer's been doing this since day one, yeah, look at bent lead screws, look at mechanical isolation issues where you have resonance. But if your machine has been in use for a while and this is just starting to show up, that's a different thing for me. My machine has been running fine since we got it. Now it's starting to do the problem. So it's not like the lead screw just randomly bent one day. That shouldn't happen, right? This is really, really pronounced. And you can see it looks really good. You can see starting there, again there, boom, 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 boom. I could tell you it's not humidity based. Desiccant doesn't really matter. I agree with the top comment that if it was a bed slinger, that's an easy one to deal with. On a bed slinger, it would be like loose belts. It would be a motor pulley being a little bit loose. But on a Core XY, that wouldn't happen because the bed just moves up and down and the print head moves in your XY. And yet the solution, for some reason, doesn't make a dime of sense to me. We see user Zonk_91 here saying this could be caused by the exhaust fan. Creality print makes use of the chamber temperature control on the K2 Plus. Default setting for PL and PTG are 35C, so if the chamber gets warm after a while, the exhaust fan kicks in and cools down, and the fan turns off again, and the cycle repeats. for the whole duration of the print. That could explain why it's not directly from the start and getting worse with the progress. If you use Creality Print, open the filament configuration. In the cooling category, scroll down and look for active air filtration. This is disabled by default. Enable it. This will pin the exhaust fan at a constant 60% for the whole print. Feel free to try it. Let me know if it made a difference. Apparently that plus raising the Z offset by another 0.01 millimeters has eliminated it. Well, I can tell you the Z offset is not going to do a darn thing here. Now you might say, Grant, what are the settings on your machine? We don't use the exhaust fan at all on these +4s. We let the chambers get warm. We set them to 42 Celsius, and if it goes up, it goes up. I don't care. That's not the cause of mine. That is such an interesting thought, though. And it's crazy to me that that can be the cause of it. This is why understanding profile tuning is such a big deal. The person that gave that advice likely dealt with the same thing themselves and had no idea. They were just clicking things to figure it out, and eventually it clicked. That's the issue. So my basic working theory is this expansion and contraction of the build plate of the metal of the printer. It's moving to one side, but that can just honestly be one Z screw being more affected by this than the other. Could also be the placement of that fan. That is absolutely crazy to me. If you own a K2 Plus, have you dealt with this? And if you do own a K2 Plus and you haven't dealt with this, can you turn off that setting and see if you get this? I'm so curious now. This to me screams mechanical problem. My issue screams mechanical problem. And you would be chasing a wild goose for hours thinking this was a mechanical issue, when in reality, it's an exhaust fan. I have multiples of the same machine, so I could just move the G-code to another printer. That machine is totally fine. So mine, I'm almost certain is mechanical. If you are gonna be doing some traveling in the next couple of weeks like we are, come and find us. We're gonna be at Rapid for the entire week, and then we're going to be going over to Rocky Mountain Rep Fest over in Colorado. So if you do want to come say hi, hang out with us, we will be there. I'm loud. You'll find me. Come say hey, get a pin, get a picture, whatever. We'd love to see you. We love taking photos with fans and meeting you all out of the interwebs. Once you figure out what's wrong with this Qidi, make fun of me for it or something. Like, sincerely, it's driving me crazy. So what do you think? Does the exhaust fan make sense to you, or are you also still scratching your head like I am? Let me know down in those comments. And a huge thank you goes out to those names also right next to me at the $5 tier and higher. Thank you for helping support the channel and what we do and making videos like this possible now for 239 weeks. Remember, if you do want to get help with your machines, you can submit your fails to us via all the social medias. Links, of course, are in that description down below. That's all we have for you all today, though. Hey, if you do enjoy this and you've watched this far, hype the video. I think that's a thing on YouTube now. And if you do want to join, $10 tier and higher gets you access to our private Discord server. But stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one.